Welcome to Back of the Net, and if you're a Villa fan, avert your eyes and ears. Maybe. Because I want to just chat about you guys, the stadium experience, and the people, your supporters. Now, myself and my friend Lucy, we travelled up at 8 o'clock on the Saturday morning, and traffic was fantastic. We arrived at our location, parked. I've got a parking ticket. I'm going to have to speak to Just Park about that. I'm really annoyed. Forget that anyway. We got there about 11:30, and we went to the Barton's Arms, and we were kind of looking online about whereabouts we're going to go for a couple of beers beforehand, and that's where we went. And the first Villa fan we chatted to, I said, "Excuse me, mate, is this pub okay for away fans?" And he looked at me like this. "Sorry." Turned out he was Lithuanian, so he literally didn't speak my language. Chat to his mate, he's like, "Yeah, sure, you come on in, and we're really nice to you in here. I can't promise I'll be the same after my second or third pint." We had a joke and we had to sit down, and you know what? That pub, Barton's Arms, superb. Chatting to a number of Villa fans in there, really, really friendly people. Now, you get these kind of stereotypes about Southerners with the stiff upper lip and all that. Yeah. I don't know where the sort of north-south divide is, but certainly the Brummies were friendly as hell. So much so, they kept on chatting to me while I was having a whiz, and I got stage fright so many times because they just kept looking over at me and like, "How do you think you're going to do today?" And they were really nice people, really chatty. I had some amazing chats with some great people, talking about Tyrone Mings, the championship, the standout players. I was talking to them about this YouTube channel and our podcast as well. They were really interested and had a lot of time for me, and they didn't, unlike many other supporters, they often try to get their little quip in or their little cheeky put down. None of that, just real down-to-earth people. So really impressed. Had a couple of lovely pints of Krombacher and the Thai food as well. This isn't an advert for the Barton's Arms, but the Thai food that came out, the chicken satay. Oh my goodness me. We didn't end up eating there at the end. But yeah, really good mix of people in there. Loads of Bournemouth fans, loads of Villa fans getting along. Certainly no trouble. I know that although it's not a pub that's, or even a club that's really associated with much in the way of badness. But yeah, it was really nice. And then short walk to the stadium, needed a wee. Oh my goodness, couldn't get in because our tickets had to be done because we lost our tickets or something. We had to rescan them. But anyway, I've got to say, on approach to the stadium, fans were really friendly, had a couple of chats. The stewards as well, inside and outside the ground, were really, really helpful. Now, I've got to say, Villa Park, what a stadium, like one of those old school ones. Don't ever... I know that through chatting to a couple of guys after the game that there is demand for tickets that outweighs the capacity of your stadium. I think it was 40,088. I can't remember what the capacity was yesterday. I would hate for a club with the history and prestige of Villa to ever have to move into a soulless bowl of a stadium. I know that people look at Spurs and it's like, "Oh yeah, what a nice stadium," but come on, it's one of these new bowls. They've done really well with it, but Villa, it's got so much prestige, and hopefully if they do need to increase the capacity of it, they'll do it on the current grounds. I think with the money that they've got and the backing at the moment, maybe that'll be called for in the future, who knows. But yeah, I know that the match against Everton next week is sold out. You have your glamour ties in the Premier League, don't you? I'm talking Liverpool, Man City, Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea, or whatever. I wouldn't put Everton in that tier. I know geographically it's fairly close, but it's not a match that you're thinking, you might be able to get a ticket. With the amount of people on the waiting list for that game alone, it shows how much support they have got. But what a stadium as well. So when you go inside, we was on the lower tier, but it was a really good view, and the amount of noise there was just ridiculous. From the whole end, they got that banner, the 12th man. You are not kidding me. It was so loud, especially when you were singing your LA chant. Little bit copying Liverpool, but it's fine. We'll let that go because you kind of made it your own. And yeah, it was so noisy. Funny enough, a lot of Bournemouth fans on the forums, like there's a forum called Vital Bournemouth Forum, and on various Facebook groups, which many people think are awful places to hang around. They try to write their own chants, and there's loads of people trying to get it going, but it just won't ever happen because our fan base is not the most interactive in terms of, I mean, even doing I do this YouTube channel, it's very difficult to get people on. People love to listen, but they don't want to take part. So it was a constant struggle. And then, when I think it's not worth doing, that's when it's like, oh, why aren't you doing it anymore? Well, take part. And trying to get things going amongst Bournemouth fans is really difficult. So any new chance like that, as much as they try, will never have that chant, apart from our Eddie Had a Dream chant, which is the sort of the key song if you're an AFC Bournemouth fan. It's a great song in terms of it making lots of noise, and oh my god, at 3 o'clock, now thankfully at 3:01 we scored the penalty, so you were a lot quieter, but then the fans just rallied, and again it was really noisy. And when you scored your goal, I've actually got a recording on my iPhone of when the goal went in, because we're trying, on the podcast that I'm doing, trying to do these little audio snippets from the games. I've just got it on record all the time, and unfortunately it doesn't do it justice because the iPhone microphone condenses audio a little bit, but it was so loud. But yeah, in the away end, down in the concourse, I thought it was all right. Very old school, very standard. Queued a long time to siphon the python. Did I just say that? Yeah, I did. Took ages because there, a lot of queuing going on. But yeah, had a hot dog at half time. Couldn't find any sauces. Not keen on that. A bit of a dry hot dog, which I nearly choked to death on because it was so dry. But aside from that, we've got a laugh here from our camera woman. She knows because she saw it happening in the flesh. She thankfully didn't have to do the Heimlich on me. It was fine. Leaving the stadium was great. I was allowed to film and do some various fan interviews, and everyone was so friendly. And then afterwards, it was a short walk back to the Barton's Arms, where had a drink, met a couple of lovely Villa fans called Tom and Woody, and they chatted about our team, about their team, the rivalry with Birmingham City, the fact that when they visit they've got to come in on coaches and vice versa. It's all so interesting because obviously Bournemouth hasn't really got a rivalry. We're trying to manufacture one with Southampton. It isn't ever going to be anything to that extent. Their main rivals are Pompey, obviously. So interesting chatting to these guys. First thing he did was offer me a pint, said well done. Wow, how nice is that? Really lovely guys. And another guy was telling me about the history of the Barton's Arms. He was a little bit quirky character, and he was pointing to a bullet there was actually a bullet mark in the wall from the Birmingham riots back in 2011, I think, on the Barton's Arms, which was really interesting. And said, oh mate, you staying over, you should come out, have a few beers. We said no. He was a bit annoyed by that because then he was like, all right, see you later. So, oh, all right. But yeah, on the whole, really nice. Woody was and Tom were great people to chat to, and they really sort of knew their stuff about Bournemouth as well, which shows kind of what footballing people that you are. It's almost like you sort of live for the weekend match. Now, I wouldn't say Bournemouth's got a lot of plastic fans. We've got a small fan base, but there are some people who sort of take and leave it. And that's, I'm not saying that this podcast is the be all and end all. We're trying to get as many people to know about it as possible. But I was doing interviews after the game. They didn't have a clue about it. Whereas you chat to Villa fans, they know the name of every single podcast, every single YouTube channel, because they're looking at it throughout the week, highlight of their weekend. So yeah, I really admire that sort of passion you've got for your club. And then the way home, I got to my car, I got a parking ticket, which I'm really off about, but it's fine. I'm going to write to Just Park and get that money back. And then the drive home was a beaut as well. So yeah, it was a really good away day. Credit to your fans and your club. We got a few wanker signs and stuff. You would, wouldn't you? We got a few comments as we were in the pub, fans driving past. Oh, you Bournemouth, all that. Every club's got that, but I've got to say, an away day that I was really pleased with, 9 out of 10. So yeah, really enjoyed it, and looking forward to your visit to the Vitality Stadium when you come in. Hopefully it can be half as good as what you made it for us. So thanks very much, and good luck for the rest of the season. And with Tyrone Mings, you've got a hell of a chance. See you later.